Hello and welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe, like and comment. Let's get the channel to 20k. With me, I have a very interesting video. It is a must watch, so make sure to watch the video until the very end. It is a video that is going to answer the one question that Americans always ask and hope for answers. Not so long ago, I posted a video of Americans complaining or boycotting rather on wanting to stop paying tax because the money they pay, their tax money, which is supposed to improve the living standards of Americans in so many aspects, is not used for its intended purpose, but rather used to fund wars or conflicts. Currently, America is funding Israel with millions of dollars, and you would wonder why, because I don't think Israel even needs that money more than Americans do. Israel enjoys a very high living standard for the most part. They have free healthcare, free education to Israeli citizens. They also have a thriving arms and other industries, meaning they don't need any aid. So then, why are these billions of dollars just constantly approved? Now, if you want to know, stay glued as I share this month's video who states the reason why using a theory. Here is a video.
Hey, regardless of your current position with respect to the ongoing conflict in Gaza, do you ever question why the United States gives billions of dollars in aid to Israel every year? I ask that question because I know, I've been to Israel, albeit a long, long time ago, that they enjoy a very high standard of living for the most part. They have free healthcare, free education to Israeli citizens. They have a thriving arms and other industries. And they don't need the aid by any general measure, right? So why are those billions of dollars just constantly approved, almost, without question, in a bipartisan way, just sent to Israel? Year after year after year, billions of United States citizens' taxpayer dollars that you'd have to think could be spent in a way that was more beneficial to those taxpayers, right? Especially given the unbelievably bad state of the US healthcare system. But putting that to one side, the why. So I have a theory about this. And I think that ultimately it's just a money laundering scheme. It's a way of taking your tax dollars as an American citizen and putting it into the bank accounts of the politicians and the elite that really, the billionaires that have undue influence over the way in which America is run. And what I mean by that is that they hand over billions of dollars in aid. Then the Israelis spend that aid primarily with the United States military-industrial complex and other areas of corporate American life, and through AIPAC provide millions and millions and millions of dollars to US politicians. So the US politicians vote to give Israel the money, and then they get a nice big fat kickback into their campaign funds, and God knows how else. Because that's the publicly known stuff. God knows what's going on underneath the publicly known stuff. And then also get the protection of the Anti-Defamation League, who are, policing what is said about Israel and making sure that Israeli propaganda is prioritized. And so it's a virtuous, in some eyes, circle of, we'll give you taxpayers' money so that we and our friends get it back via a different route. That's just my theory, but I would like to know how else the provision of aid to an already rich and prosperous country is justified, given how else that money might be used. And just as an aside, you do know that Joe Biden has been the recipient of in excess of $7 million from AIPAC, both as a senator and then as a presidential candidate. $7 million. Seems pretty obvious to me why he's so keen to continue aid.
Now, Washington, which provides billions in military aid to Israel annually, sent military ships, aircraft after attacks by Palestinian group. Now, hours after the Hamas attack inside Israel, U.S. President Joe Biden promised rock-solid and unwavering support to its closest ally in the Middle East. Washington, which provides about $3 billion in annual military aid to Israel, ordered the movement of military ships and aircraft closer to Israel as a show of support following the attack by the Palestinian armed group. where the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken called the Hamas attack a massive T attack in an interview with ABC News. We have immediately engaged our Israeli partners and allies. President Joe Biden was on the phone with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to assure him of our full support, he added. Now, here's the U.S. military support for Israel. They support Israel with Navy ships and munition. I do not understand in strategic military terms why the U.S. would send aircraft carriers with some 5,000 sailors on it and the most sophisticated aircraft in the world when Israel is more than capable of dealing with Hamas in the Gaza Strip, said Al Jazeera's senior political analyst, who even said that the decision to move the Ford carrier was a major escalation. Now, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said the U.S. would provide munitions to Israel. We don't know exactly what kind of munitions, but it is suspected that Israel has requested both interceptors and precision-guided munitions, said Al Jazeera's John Hendren, reporting from Washington, D.C. Hendren said that the interceptors are for Israel's Iron Dome defense system, and those are the devices that strike the Hamas and in some cases cause them to harmlessly explode in the air rather than land. Now, the Al Jazeera correspondent said that $2 billion worth of U.S. munitions have been pre-supplied in 6 different locations in Israel that can be used in case of emergencies. How much military aid does the U.S. give Israel? The U.S. contributes about $3 billion a year in military aid to Israel. Israel is the largest cumulative recipient of United States foreign assistance since World War II. The United States and Israel did make it official that the two countries signed a 10-year military assistance deal, representing the single largest pledge of its kind in American history. Now, this pact, laid out in a memorandum of understanding, said that it will be worth $38 billion over the course of a decade, an increase of roughly 27% on the money pledged in the last agreement, which was signed in 2007. The diplomatic and military alliance between the two countries is long-standing. Now, coming back to this man's theory, which is a money laundering scheme of putting the money of American citizens back into the account of politicians and the elite that have influence over the way America is run, in order for them to just get a nice big fat kickback into the campaigns, and also get the protection of Anti-Defamation League, who are policing what is said about Israel and make sure that Israel's propaganda is prioritized. It's a lot, guys, but do you agree to what this man is saying? If you do, then kindly share your thoughts about this issue in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.